The tragic images coming out of Syria have shocked Americans, but none more so than those of Arab descent. Maya Berry, executive director of the Arab American Institute, says the community has followed events in Syria closely and has pressed U.S. officials to try to do something to stop the suffering there.
There's real knowledge base among Arab Americans, and specifically Syrian Americans, who are getting accounts daily from their family members, whether they are in Syria, whether they're displaced inside Syria, whether they're now at a refugee camp elsewhere. There is absolutely no one in the Syrian American community that is not impacted by what's happened. So I think that level of knowledge and commitment, and then just very real regional understanding of what happens there has been very impactful for policymakers, I think in a variety of ways. The Arab Americans have engaged with their elected officials on this issue for some time. We have administration meetings all the time to have these conversations. So I think it's an important piece of this.
America's war-weary population is overwhelmingly against military strikes against Syria, but Berry says Arab Americans appear more divided on the issue.
There are a fair number of Arab Americans, Syrian Americans particularly, who have been advocating for both this military strike as well as arming the rebel regime and shifting the policies that we're talking about, getting rid of Assad's regime change, the words that this administration has specifically sought not to use. But at the same time, there are a sizable number of Arab Americans, Syrian Americans included, who have very vivid memories of our entrance into the Iraq War, our continued presence in the region, and that the further militarization of this particular bloody civil war is not the way to go.
Here in Washington, Arab Americans expressed a range of opinions on whether President Obama should carry out a military strike against the forces of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad.
What Bashar al-Assad is doing is horrible. Killing his own people for the sake of, a presidency that, his own people doesn't want him to be there. And on the other hand, if America is trying to get rid of him by going on war, I don't know, I kind of question it, because I don't know, the thing is we don't know how long the war is going to last.
Obama should attack Bashar al-Assad, not Syria, to be honest, because the people of Syria have suffered for about almost 2 years from being killed, and right now Bashar al-Assad is using chemical weapons against his own people. So I think they have to stop him at fast as they can.
Poison gas. It's hard not to do anything. It's hard to just watch, and for the international world to watch and not do anything about it. So I would like it to be solved diplomatically, but if not, if that's going to deter the use of gas, I would say why not, just for a punishment.
Most Arab Americans appear to want Bashar al-Assad to go, but above all, they want the suffering of the Syrian people to end. After America's decade-long misadventure in Iraq, Americans are highly wary of any new military engagement in the Middle East. Arab Americans, for their part, are perhaps a little more willing to support a strike on Syria, a move they hope will hasten the end of the brutal reign of Bashar al-Assad. Burton Bowlike, KSA2, Washington.